Good day, everyone. As you can probably see right now, or figure right now, we're back into the kitchen. And today I'm going to make something that is definitely a Newfoundland tradition, but not one that I grew up with. I'm going to make a flipper pie. And I'll be honest, I never ate seal until I was well into my teens. I grew up on the south coast of Newfoundland. It was rare to see a seal at that point in time back many moons ago. Unlike right now, I'm in central. I'm not far from the northeast coast, and the northeast coast there was always an abundance of seals, and now there's beyond the abundance. Just recently I was in an inland river, which meant a seal would have to go 4 kilometers upriver, 4 kilometers across a pond, another kilometer up another river into a freshwater inlet, and there was a seal. So seals are eating themselves out of house and home, and eventually Mother Nature's going to take its course, and there's probably going to be a natural call. But until then, we'll see what happens. Seal hunting on the northeast coast of Newfoundland has been a tradition since Newfoundland, or since the European settlers came to Newfoundland. While the seal was harvested a lot for the pelts in its day, seal meat was also a staple, and is still a staple to many people in Newfoundland. Like I was saying back in the beginning of the video, my first time having seal was I was a teenager. I had a teacher from the northeast coast of Newfoundland, and he brought cans of seal to home and got to try it out. And not that I'm fussy for food, but I really enjoyed it. I like seal meat. I like seal hearts. I like seal flippers. It's delicious as far as I'm concerned. Maybe it's not a taste for everybody. It's an acquired taste sometimes. It can be a bit strong. So the first thing I'm going to do today, that I've seen several recipes. Like I said, I've already cooked this. I think this will probably be the third time. I've seen several recipes. Everybody got their own little twists and ways of doing it. This is the way I'm going to do it. If you have a different way, please put it down in the comments. Love to hear how you cook it, how you prepare it, and anything I can do different to make mine better, make it different, whatever. So the first thing you got to have, if you're going to cook seal flippers, and there's the front flipper on the seal, is a couple of seal flippers. So I got a couple here. I've had them soaking now, thawing out. What I'm going to do right now, the first step, no matter which recipe I look at, the first step seems to be soak them in water with baking soda solution. That turns any fat on the seal, on the flipper, and as you can see, there is some fat streams here. Apparently, it's very important to get as much as that as possible off. You get a better flavor from your meat by having that off. So the first thing I'm going to do is put them in soak. Top this up. Another point. Dish towel. Use them to dry my hands when I'm working, doing things, whatever. Anybody know where you can get good dish towels? Because the ones you buy now, it's like using plastic. They don't dry. So can't seem to find any good ones. So anyway, what I got done right here now, I got my seal flippers. I only got 2 there today. Truck is coming by tomorrow with more, so I'll restock tomorrow. So I'm going to get those covered with water, and I'm going to put probably 2 and a bit tablespoons of baking soda water, and I'm going to stir that in and dissolve that throughout, and we're going to let that sit for half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I'll let you know how long it is when I come back. This should turn the fat white, and we should be able to trim off any excess fat. We'll be right back in a flick. Okay guys, so what we got here is some pork, and I had the pork pre-cut. Usually what we'll do is buy pork, cut it up, bake it up, and have it ready for a time like this. And As you can see, this here has been frozen together, so I think I should probably get a bit of Cupfaware. So I'm going to fry that out. Then we're going to take our sail flippers and fry them out into the rendered pork fat. We're going to add the sail flippers to a roaster. Then we're going to take this fat after we did the sail in it and make a gravy to go over the sail. So we're going to just fry this out here now. We'll get the frying pan going there. And we'll let that fry out. You can add a little oil to your pork fat if you like. Okay, while the sail's still soaking, we get our pork fat on there rendering down right now. We're going to cut up some carrot, and I'd like to use a bigger carrot if possible, and cut it up in sort of bite-sized chunks. And we take the last piece and we give it to our taste tester. Good, buddy? He's not far behind, he's not far away. So I'm only cooking this for me, so 1 carrot. And we got a nice chunk of turnip. One thin slice. And this for our taster. Again, we're going to cut this up in bite-sized chunks. So here we got basically roughly a cup of carrot and a cup of turnip. So we're going to get some potatoes and onions here shortly. And our tester. There you go, bud. Good for your teeth, eh? More? Okay, I would take that piece going on your bed. Yeah, but you eat it right there. Okay, and a couple of potatoes. Potatoes don't go in, well, nothing goes in yet, but the potatoes won't go in until the very end, just before I put the pastry on. Okay. Okay, so I'm cutting the onions. Most of it is just small size, some bits, some longer, random sizes. We're just going to throw this in with our pork fat and let it saute in with the pork fat. And after that's done, next step will be to get our sail flippers out, get them cleaned up, and we'll get them into the mixture and get them browned up into the frying pan. So keep on following. Okay, as you can see, the pork fat is pretty browned out here. Now let's get the onion in there. So again, we got very low heat on here now. The onions make me cry, and we're just going to soften it up and clean our seal. Now that the seal has been soaking in the baking soda water, you can see the fat is more white. You see some of this before, but not as good as you can now. So we'll go in and we'll trim all this off and get it off, so it just got basically just the meat left. The onion is sauteing really nice there now in that pork fat. Okay, now we got them clean, fat all cleaned off of them, best of my ability. And I got some poppy rice spread on there. I got some poppy rice spread into the bag. So we put that on everything. So what I'll do, let's give them a lightly coating, like so. Shake out the excess flour there. And then we're going to take this and put it into the frying pan. Okay, so we got our onion and our pork going on here. And we're just going to lay this in there like so. Okay, and there's our second one. So we're going to fry those about half an hour or so. Let them brown up really nice. And we'll turn it over after about 15 minutes. Both sides are done. Then we'll take them out of that, put them in our roaster, and we'll make some gravy to go on it. So stay tuned. I almost forgot. Not a Newfoundland tradition yet, but it's going to be. We just flipped them there, so we should be able to let them brown on that side for about 10 minutes, and then we'll get them in the roaster. Pretty brown there now. We're going to get them in the roaster here. This way around there. Two side by side in the roaster. And we're going to mix up some gravy now, and we're going to cover over that, cover over the vegetables, and stay tuned. Okay, now we're going to make some gravy. So I got some chicken stock here. I'm going to pour about a cup full, maybe a little more in there. We'll bring that to a boil. Right here I got chicken stock. You can use beef or whatever, or you can just use water, your choice type thing, however you make your gravy. It's just gravy. So, new stove, figured to turn this on, okay. So we'll turn that on, get it heated up, and then we're going to put this in there, into our gravy stock. But this is what's going to be put over. This pork and onion stock is going to be used to cover the seal. Okay guys, before I even put the gravy on there, I got about an inch of water put in this because this is going to roast in the oven now for about 2 hours, 2-3 hours. So while that's roasting, of course, it's going to be drying up on me. So I don't want to burn on. So I got about an inch of water put in there. We're going to cover that with gravy. Let it cook at about 2 hours. What I'll do is I'll actually add the potatoes, and then we'll cover it with a pastry and let it cook for about an half an hour after. Okay, this is a new way I've been making gravy lately. These little clubhouse packs. Basically, it says calls for a cup. I probably got a little more than a cup in there because I'm going to add more stuff to it. And once you get your water warmed up, basically you just dump this in, give it a stir, and just like that you got gravy. But you want to let it boil a little bit now type thing so it'll thicken up. If you find it doesn't thicken enough because you got too much water in there like I probably do right now, you can add a little bit of cornstarch. But you don't have to add any gravy browning because it's already got browning mixed in the pack. Little change of plans. I said I was going to put the onion and pork in my gravy. But where I use the gravy pack, I'm just going to take this here. This is just going to spread over. Surprise this line, if you mix it with your gravy, it will still be just as good because it's going to mix in. Now, take our gravy. And we're going to place that in the oven for 2 hours. And sticking with Newfoundland traditions, we're going to put a light coating Poppy Rays on top of everything. Get the flavor in. Actually, I do like this stuff. It's not spicy hot, but it's tasty. Alright, let's get it in the oven. Bake. 350 is over there. Should have had it preheated, but it does make it a difference. It's going to come up to temperature when I put it in. So in she goes for a good 2 hours, and then we'll take it out, add potatoes, and add a pastry. Okay guys, it's been in the oven now for about an hour and a half, and I am going to, oh yeah, look in there. So I'm going to put my potatoes in there now for half an hour, and after the potatoes in for half an hour, we'll put a pastry on it. Okay, so there was an hour and a half in the first time. We'll give that about 30 minutes, and then we'll make our pastry. Another half an hour now for the potatoes to bake, and then while that's baking, I'll make pastry, and we'll take it back out, put a pastry on it, and let that brown. Okay guys, I'm going to make the pastry now. You'll probably make more pastry, but I'm only eating it myself, so I'm not going to get it all covered over. It's just going to be over a section of it. So use a cup of flour. This is actually a 3/4 cup, so I gotta put a little extra in there. And 1/3 cup of butter. Get flour in my butter. And a little bit there. And a couple tablespoons of baking soda. And that's all's in there. Needs more baking soda. Okay. Stir that around. Break our butter up. The butter was already softened because it's been on the counter for a while. I'll lay that over so I'll knock it off. And just enough water. Put a little bit in there, probably a couple tablespoons. More water than I was going to have to put in there. And there's always so much I could get done with the fork. You're going to roll it out. That's the same as if you're making bread here. Get the same consistency. That's what you want. You don't want to stick into your hands. You just want to. Just so you can roll it out, so you like a good pie crust. So let's a little bit of flour on the counter so she won't stick on. And normally, like I say, if I was going to make this for a big crowd, whatever, a lot of people, I'd make it enough to cover the old pot. But right now, it's only me, so I'm just gonna. It should be enough for me to heat, and just over what I got there. Okay. I actually got more than I thought I did now. So I'm gonna just lay that on top. Like I said, it's about 1/4 inch thick. Now we'll take this and get it back in the oven. Get up a bit so I ain't gonna get too much stuff inside them. There we go. Yeah, it's in the oven there now, and when that crust browns over, we will take it out and give it a shot. Okay guys, as you can see, crust is browning over there now, and Tucker's come to investigate. You already had supper, buddy. It's already past 5 o'clock, so you've all heard me say, come 5 o'clock, this guy wants his supper. Okay, here we go. Nice crusted over, nice and brown there now. Okay guys, I'm going to take some of this up here now. Oh boy. Some pastry. Anybody wants this? I got a full flipper. There's a lot of bones in it, guys, in the flipper, so. Next thing I'm going to do is I got another plate here. I'm just going to take the pastry off so that I can dish it out a little better. So I'm just turn up potato there that was done. Potatoes nice, cooked really good. Carrot. Hey guys, what do you think of that? Give her a little taste test. Absolutely delicious. So I'm going to sit in, dig in, and hopefully when I put the video together it'll all come together, because it seemed to be a little bit of a mishmash as I was going at it today. Trying to keep it all straight. Because it's not something that I cook very often, probably like once, twice a year. Because this is probably the 3rd time I've actually cooked it, so I'm hoping to get some flippers. Today is Tuesday. Actually, I saw on Facebook that the truck is supposed to be in town tomorrow with more flippers, so I'm hoping to restock. If it is, I'll probably have another one cooked up in a month's time. But it's not something you have often, once, twice a year. Good stuff, good food, healthy food. I'm going to dig in now, and until next time, we'll be talking.